I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Rakwa Kadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles, and to you brothers laboring in the truth, day and night and day, and to you sincere sisters who, learning from your husbands, learning the word in silence, taking care of your home, loving your children, and respecting yourself, and loving Yahweh Bashem Yahushua first. And I just want to there's a book that I wanted to show you guys, right? Right now I'm at work right now, so I got a few minutes, to show you guys something. There's a book, right? This book is called The Negro Question Part 4, The Missing Link. I hope you guys can see this book. And there's been a lot of misinformation based on King James, and he's white, he's he's on the other side, you know what I'm trying to say. But that's not true, because there's no history that proclaim that that false information. Those are just narratives that was being made by the Edomites because they are jealous, because we always rule in different parts of the world. Okay, we ruled during the time of the Dark Ages. We are the true Vikings. We are the true everything. But we're Israelites first. But anywhere we go, we became that based on a part of that land or region. The children of Israel always have a flavor or a style of change of clothing, and it changes as the time goes on. We see this all the time, so I don't know why people are so confused or so shocked. We look at the 80s, look at the way they dance, the way they dress. Look at the 90s, look at the way they dance and they dress. Look at the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, so forth and so forth. This is not something to be like, oh, well, I didn't know. A lot of you guys don't know because you don't read. So I'm bringing it to you guys, and just like you guys, I didn't know either. But once I started to know the truth, and I started to understand the severity of history. History is very important to understand and learn. You know what I'm saying? And to know your ancestors, your forefathers, because our forefathers are not Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. That's not our forefathers. Our forefathers are the children of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So I don't understand why the school system is teaching this false narrative. It's not the proper way of teaching children. That false heritage. That's not our people. It's not to be hateful or condescending or disrespectful, to other people, but that's not our people. Because if Chinese people have a culture, why would you tell them that their ancestors is Irish? Why would you tell them that their ancestors are Sweden or different Edomite countries, which they have been mixing with with a great amount of these people? But a lot of those people in those regions were black first, and they had these chinky eyes, but they were Israelites. Okay, and then they started to mingle with different cultures, man. Different race of people, and then the skin tone was getting lighter and lighter, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, y'all, my coworker, but anyway, there's a book here. Like I said, this book here is The Negro Question 4. I want to read something to you guys real quick. All right, and this is on page 8. All right, so this is on page 8. I want to show you guys something. Okay, this is page 8. All right, and this is chapter 2, the Scottish King of England. So we're gonna talk about the Scottish kings of England, which they weren't white, they were black first. They were men of color, so-called black men, which they come in different shades of brown. All right, so you have different men that came in different shades of brown ruling Europe. All right, so people thinking that it's a Edomite country first. It's not. you know, so to speak. You know, it's more Edomite base, you know, because of the conquer and the captivity and the rulership that took over. All right. But we was there conquering, and we was there first. Anytime we go on this earth, we shall keep God's laws. All right. The Lord said, well, any land you go, you should keep my laws. Okay. So these people keep making these debauchery statements and making these preconceived notions without knowing the facts. You know, you misjudging the truth. All right. Information is very important. It's very key to us. All right. All right. This is the image, location, New College Library, Edinburgh, UK. This is in the UK. All right. So let me read this. I'm not making this up. Okay, it says, I know that this image of a black King James can be a little confusing because of your Western education, but this is the truth that is known by the rich and the elite in the world. So the people that's ruling and you know, the rich and elite, they know who we are, but you people constantly fight it all the day long. You constantly fight the truth, and you get mad at us Israelites for bringing it out. You hate the Israelites because you don't like the way we speak. You don't like the way we talk. Yeah, maybe certain people speak a certain way, but that has nothing to do with me or brother that's bringing the truth out. The truth always gonna hurt, whether the delivery is nice or not. So you people, you need to get out your feelings, man, and start understanding the truth. All right. It says that was the reason I paraded all of the English historians and professors before I got into the bowels of this book. So this person name is Lee Cummins, and he has got the information from different sources, reliable sources, professors and scholars who actually got the information and records of this, and they put it together to tell the truth about our ancestors who was here at during these times. Okay, once upon a time. Okay, it says I had to get your mind ready to receive the truth. King James came from a long line of black Scottish Stuart kings, 343 years of rulership in Scotland. The Stuarts not only ruled in Scotland, they ruled France and Spain. It says Ireland and England, Britain and Wales, right? Watch this. Watch this, guys, right? Watch this. I'm sorry. King James was able to rule all of these lands because of all these people were Iberian black descent. They were the same people. If you look at the ball in his hands, it represents world rulership, and there was only one other group of world leaders who used this type of symbolism, and they were the Byzantine Roman emperors. Remember, they told the English that they were Roman citizens. This is the proof. Okay, so look. So they were black. They were black. You see this? See who said that? See? All right. So I don't want you guys to say I'm making this shit up. You know, I'm not making these things up. All right. There's something else I want to... let me show you something. It give like a little small timeline of when the Scottish kings was ruling. They have a small list of the kings, right? It says Scottish kings list: Robert II, Robert III, James I, James II, James III, James IV, James V, Mary Queen of Scots, James VI, and first of first of England, Charles I, Charles II, James and Mary, and Great Britain and Scottish. Okay, it says, as you can see, these Scottish kings, right here, it says these Scottish kings, one of England, was a descent of black Scottish kings who claimed the thrones of France, Spain, Ireland, England, Britain, Wales, and Scotland. In order to reinforce the testimony of Professor Boyd Dawkins, I have provided you with an image of other historic kings of Scotland. So this in this image. So, oh yeah, but by the way, Professor Boyd Dawkins is a very known professor. And if you don't know about him, look him up, okay? Because he has have incredible evidence to prove the rulership of our people. All right, and when you guys really look at it, you know, it goes back into this, right? Okay, let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. I'm trying to find a good picture for you guys. All right. And it's very, very informative, man. You know, very, very informative. All right. Oh, excuse me. And let me read this part. It says, the kings of Scotland, Ireland, and Britain are calling the Pope and the Catholic institutions antichrist. It appears that Jacobites, Jakes, right? See, that's when we say Jakes, we talking about the children of Israel, the children of Israel, man, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the Covenanters, the Covenanters, excuse me, Salakia, were walking in the commandments of the God of Israel. Look, I'm not making this up. Look at this. I'm not making this up. It says, when Constantine went to ratify the Sunday worship law in 323 AD, it has been recorded that delegates came from around the world. It appears they were trying to compete with the worldwide Sabbath that occurred on the day of Pentecost. Back to Constantine, when he arrived in Nicaea to ratify the change of the Sabbath to Sunday, the only nations that refused to send a delegate or attend was the British Isles. The British Isles were Ireland, Scotland, and Britain / England. All of these nations were black until white English invasion 449 AD. All right then. So we was ruling. There was no Edomites that was ruling before 449 AD. You guys came and conquered because we stopped keeping the laws of Yahweh Bashin Yahushua. And a lot of you Egyptologists and you Hope Ted, you don't know what the hell you be talking about. Yeah, there's truth to those histories that lived for a moment's time, but it was destroyed. Okay? Those writings that you see on the walls and drawings was from the Israelites. So cut that shit out. Cut it out. You know. And let me go. I want to read something else. Oh. Let me show up a black person from Scotland. You see this person? I don't know if you guys can see. You see this person? Let me see if I can see. You see this person right here? Okay, it says, the black coat of arms, as you probably know, was found in the Scotland, Europe. All right? It has been written that Andrew, the chief of the clan, rendered homage to King Edward I of England in 1296. The purpose of this image is to reinforce writings of the historians that the original people of Europe were black. Color is only being mentioned for the sake of identifying a people among us, so they know that we are the Israelites. Okay, man, and it goes more. Yo, man, this book is good. So, listen, I'm not gonna keep you guys long. I want you to get this book. Okay, you can find this book. You can find this book on Amazon. You can find this book. I believe you can get in Barnes and Nobles. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm sorry, guys. I had to fix my shirt. You know what I mean? So, I don't like slouching. So, when you see this book right here is very informative. Okay? All right? So I'm gonna read the back of the index real quick. Back of the book real quick. Just bear with me. It says, hello, my name is Lee Cummins, and I received my degree in accounting from Chicago State University. I am a historian, writer, teacher, and I play pro basketball in Venezuela and Australia. I am the author of The Negro Question, Who I Am, The Negro Question Part 2, The African Slave Ships That Came from Judah, and The Negro Question Part 3, The Black Pentecost. This book was designed to shed light on the old world order, right? The time when black European nations ruled the world. This book will focus primarily on the black nations of Ireland, Scotland, and Britain, who were uprooted and sold into North Atlantic slave trade. I have provided eyewitness accounts of the blackness of the old world order from Benjamin Franklin, Professor Boyd Dawkins, and Dr. Albert Churchward. Right, this book contains the eyewitness account of Jesuit priest J.J. Williams and his book, The Black Irish. I have inserted images of the Black Irish, Scots, and Brits that were sold into the North Atlantic trade slave. This book contains images of the Black Scottish kings, King James, Charles I, and Charles II. This book provides indisputable proof that the Black Irish, Scots, Welsh, French, and Italians are walking in the ghettos of America. It is the disappearance of these three kingdoms from the historical record that is causing a great divide between history and genetics. After you have read this book, you will have in your possession one of the greatest secrets of this present generation. See you soon. So yeah, so a lot of you people don't believe that. A lot of the Italians, when you go to parts of Sicily, I never been, but I heard testimonies, people that actually been there. You know, I even seen clips on YouTube where you go to a part of Sicily that they are black Italians, okay, and they're Israelites. I'm not talking about the one that's mixing with the Edomites, far as from the mother side, they don't count. It goes by according to the seed of your father. So the father is a so-called black man, and he's mingling with an Edomite Italian. That child's a black Italian according to the citizenship in Italy, in Rome. So I'm trying to tell you something, guys. You guys keep going back based on this and that and that and that of the lineage of my mother and this and that. If you have a black father, so-called black father, a native Indian father, right? West Indian father, right? And a Hispanic father, you are the children of Israel. Doesn't matter how you put it. I don't care if these guys out here saying, oh, all black, they're all black. Yeah, but they'll come different shades of brown. All right. So you can't, and sometimes the color doesn't show forth as you think because they don't have enough melanin. Doesn't mean they're not a part of that lineage. So you misjudging, and you guys keep going based on the dark color. All right. Because you got a lot of Edomites that's dark, and they're not the children of Israel. So you guys don't talk about that. All right. So let's keep it real. All right. So, this book right here is like I said, it's showing the kings, of Israel. I mean, these are Israelites. They're somewhat like kings of Israel, but they're kings in a different land. You know what I'm saying? So you got Britain, Irish, Scotland, and and all these wonderful places that you see of today. Okay, so so I'm letting you guys know, man, don't listen to any foolery of people talking about this. There were no black kings or no black people. They are lying. So one time I was in high school. I was in the U.S. government class, and I had this Italian teacher. His name was Mr. Giuliano, and I didn't really like him too tough. I didn't really like him too tough. I believe that he was a straight racist deep down, and he didn't really like blacks, so-called black people that was smart and that knew their history to come up against him. So when he took it some kind of way, while there's other people in the class, they ain't learning and they got their heads down, going to sleep, and he passing on flying colors while I'm doing all the work. He's failing me. So one day he told me, he said, you know, these are your forefathers, and George Washington, and you know, Abraham Lincoln, etc., etc., etc. So I raised my hand and I was like, I have a question. He's like, yeah. I said, how can it be our forefathers if our forefathers was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob before these men? And that's your forefather because you come from their lineage. I don't come from that lineage. I come from the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So he was like, what? Who told you that? I said, who told me that? I said, scholars, because I was raised in an Israelite family. So you're not going to sit here and lie to me. You know, you're not going to sit here and come with this foolish behavior. So he said, get out of my class, get out of my class. And it sounded like he said, get out of my class, nigga. Like it sounded like he was so mad, like, you know, I don't want to lie on him, you know, but he passed away. But I don't believe in the fact that this dude, you know, like me, man, and others got heard numerous of complaints that he was failing multiple people of color, right? And because they didn't want to listen to the garbage that he was spewing out his mouth. You know, he wasn't a great teacher. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And he knew the truth, because if you know the truth, why are you getting mad? Why would you cast me away? You know, get out of my classroom. Get out of my classroom. So I said, all right, no problem, man. I got your class. So, you know, I was like 17, 18 at the time. I told my mother. So my mother came up. So he saw my mother real dark skin. I give my complexion from my father. And he saw my mother. He was like, so my mother said, hey, are you Mr. Giuliano? He said, yeah. She said, I want to have a meeting with you for a second. She said, my son says that you fail him after he did his project. You still fail him, and he said certain things, and he raised his hand, and you got upset, and you kicked him out of the class. Oh, because he was being smart with me. No, he wasn't being smart with you. He explained to you about what he learned and what he knows, because our family are Israelites. So we're not going to sit and tolerate your teaching over what we taught our son, which you saying we, meaning my father, my uncles, and them, whatever, and elders that I grew up and learned from. So he was like, no, I didn't mean in no kind of way. She said, well, let me explain something to you. She said, I'm not here to make a bad argument with you. I'm just here to shed some light. And my son is not coming with hatred. He's coming with truth. He's telling you, and he even had the proof to show you, but you can't do that in the board education system. You can't do that. They're not going to allow that. They're not going to allow that, but then they'll allow certain customs. But then when you, as a so-called African-American man like myself, right? And then when you bring out the true history of who your people really are, and we're called by these names, these bywords and these proverbs, then they look at you like, oh, don't talk about that. But why? When you have people of other ethnic background that explains who they are. But it's okay that you accept that, but the board education won't accept us for being who we are. So, like I said, the board education system is garbage. It's no good learning it. If you're not learning to get a degree, as far as when it comes to like certain things that you need education on, or medicine or certain things, that's different. But the majority of their education system is garbage. It haven't taught us anything but to be stagnant, dumb, deaf, and blind, and colorless. So yeah, so with that being said, I hope this video was edifying, man. I just want to give you my short video commentary on this book. I want to read some more, but I gotta go. I gotta go. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Shalom.